Hey there. I've got like 1 day left to try to finish this game, and I still don't like anything about it. We'll see how far I go. Um, okay. So I realized voicely what happened. Grab this stuff. Did I do something? What happened to my stuff? Oh, weird. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I just don't know.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.
Okay, I think there should be fewer of these once because, or maybe not fewer of those, but maybe like more of these. Because right now it's just too easy to remove. Although I could make it so that when you use these to remove cards too, and then you could replace them. Yeah, let's try that. Something I could almost try here, except like these are a little skewed. Yeah, I gotta regenerate these cards. What is going on here? What is going on here? What's going on with this, huh? What's this about, huh? This almost looks like it's... Yeah, it's like not scaled or something. Oh, this too. What the heck? What's happening here? I don't know, but I think it's easier if I just do this. Just straight up replace them. Here, the new effect symbol too. You're gone. You're gone. Bye-bye. Oh, not yet. Oh, this will be easier. Bye-bye. Okay. Oops. Uh-oh, did I... Wait, what? Why is this not saved? What? I'm confused. Something happened. I'm not sure what happened, but I have to redo some work apparently. Damn it. Okay. Anywho. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, actually. Okay, better. Okay. Alright. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why are there fewer cards? Oh, it's because I trimmed out those other cards. Okay. Yeah, alright. Better. Okay. Alright, I think this is all set up for me to try. This is like slowly turning into like some really weird war game. Okay, so, what's happening here? Am I doing the math wrong here? 9 times 3 is 27. So there should be 27 cards here. So what's the deal? How come there are some blanks? Don't know what that's about. Yeah, 9 times 3 is 27. There should be 27. So what's the deal? Why if I got some cards that are blank? Oh. Oh, right, because they weren't. Okay. Right. Oops. So this will screw up some stuff, unfortunately. Oh, of course. Oh, I made the thumbnail. I might as well use it. I don't know if I like it. It's better than what I had before, that's much for sure. Sure, okay. Let's see. Still don't have like a win condition. Well, I guess I have this theoretic win condition where, this one, yeah, but it's a lame one. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that. I basically just want to control the most resources. Okay, so let's just say they want to generate resources then. Do I want the players to have individual tableaus? I don't know. Let's just work with this for now. Okay. So, this player just wants to generate stuff. They had a combo they've been waiting on. They're going to play this here. Playing one of these here. And it's got the 2 coins and this, so it's able to play one of these here. So now this acts as if it also has a art here, which will get it one step closer to enabling this. Then this goes underneath. I don't like the physicality of this. Maybe it just goes to a discard pile. I'm gonna try to be too clever with this. Let's say it goes to a discard pile. Oh, so this one could activate now because it's got 2 of those and 1 of these. I don't know, it feels like there's too many constraints and too many rules, and now it's like you're having to read everything all the time and calculate like can I do this and can I do that, and this feels too messy. I like the idea of the dependencies, but I think maybe 3 is too much, and maybe I shouldn't count these. I don't know. Maybe it's fine if it's just 2, but then it's like way too easy to get 2 when there's so much board presence and you could do stuff like this. I don't know. Maybe it should be a thing for each. Then it's like more combo-able. But then what can you do a thing that's for each that's not gonna be totes broken? Yeah, it just feels too noisy right now. I like this like connectedness thing, and this like the sense of dependencies between the different communities. Got them. It was just too crowded with these cards. Maybe 2 is more realistic when you're starting with a smaller board state. But then it feels like it's just really easy to just keep playing cards and expanding. I don't know. Alright, let's... Let's set these aside for now. Except for maybe this one. Let's keep this one there. Let's clean up these. I don't know. Alright, let me look at my index cards. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying that. I think I need to go back up to blue layer. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm really tapping into this whole engagement economy thing. Or you want to be like connected, but that connection also makes you vulnerable. Maybe if I had more cards and they were less complicated, then it could be that sort of grid. Then it could just be like a... Like if there's like a blob of... If there's like this much in this blob and this much in this blob, I don't know. No. I feel like I'm close to something with this, but I'm not quite feeling it. I feel like I got this. I see. Yeah. Maybe it would help if I think about what it is that the other players are doing in this scenario, because I feel like I've got a really vague, wibbly-wobbly idea on that. So I'm trying to like capture the feeling of like, okay, so maybe I should be thinking less on the audience end and more on like the receiver end, that feeling of like getting like a bunch of pings. For a while I was thinking about an idea where like you would reveal cards and see if like you got what you were looking for from that, like just by chance. Like that sort of feeling of checking your phone and hoping you got what you were looking for. I do feel like that has something to do with drawing from the deck, but I don't know. I really like this idea of like not having full control and having to put cards in a deck and hoping that the right ones are revealed to you, but I feel like it's too hard to make any sort of strategic decisions when you're not directly controlling the cards that are getting played. And I feel like I'm already demanding so much like cognitive load with these like this grid of cards with each having their own effect. Which is why I'm trying to keep the grid small. But then when the grid is small, it feels like everything's like by necessity connected, and when everything's by necessity connected, then like... I mean, that is kind of one of the feelings I'm trying to go for, that you have these dependencies and it's hard to break them. But it's not quite capturing that, like, that essence of, like, trying to, like, lean into the tide of an amorphous blob. Maybe instead of looking at this as an output randomness thing, it should be like an input randomness thing. Like, each round you reveal, like, 5 cards, and then those are not, like, market cards, or maybe they are market cards. Maybe that's what influences, Yeah, that's what's trending. And then what's trending... When something's trending, so to speak, then that's, that sort of influences sort of... What's the word? Actions that you could take? almost like when it's popular, when it's in vogue to like do a thing, then it's like you could get away with doing that thing and like blending in with the mob, so to speak. Yeah, so like what happens if like yeah, so what happens if like say there's just like a few things with a few dependencies, and then something trends, which opens up additional actions to you. It just feels like there's too much like math going on here. Maybe I could enforce that idea of like dependencies and connections and basically bonds, like community connections, without like this complicated symbol thing going on. Maybe it could just be something as simple as like if you're adjacent, you're connected, and I don't have to worry about the dependencies. It's less that the dependency is more just that you get a cumulative bonus from them being connected. Something like that. Which means that things need to be further apart, maybe only orthogonal counts. Basically, I think there should be a few ways that the game could end well for like the spotlit player. Either they get enough resources on their sort of like cause community or activist community to enact actual change. Like they require some like sort of unobtainable, unless there's like cooperation amount of resources on their home community. Another one is that they successfully control enough of the internet. Basically, these are kind of like warriors in Oath. If they've got enough influence across the internet, then they win that way. Then another way... I don't know. Basically, map control, resource collection. I don't know. And then I need to think about how it is that these other players win. I don't know. Maybe this grid thing's not working out. What I kind of want is the tableau, and then also like a like the grid and a tableau for each card, but that's like so much overhead. That's like asking way too much of players. And I guess that's what this was attempting to do, give each of them their own sort of tableau, but this feels like too much. It feels like too much when there's so much already going on with the cards. Maybe if the cards were just like a single... I don't know. If they're a single suit, then it's like, why even have the cards at all? I mean, each card could be something like this, and then this could link to the tableau. It is so windy. It is wild windy right now. Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe it doesn't make sense to map this into a physical space. Well, I mean, it's not a physical space, but it's supposed to represent, like basically, if you got something like this, then there's like 4 degrees of separation between this community and this community. Or 3 degrees of separation. Social separation. And I kinda like that. So... So then... maybe I get rid of these altogether. And maybe it's just that you are moving these cards around this grid. Like if you wanted to connect to this one, then you'd have to like somehow move and swap until you're adjacent to it. I feel like communities are not that mobile. I mean, they do form new connections pretty quickly. They can, anyways, and they can sever them quickly. So maybe it is. Not cut out for making these internet war games. I don't think I'm making something for this in time for the jam. But I want to at least try. I have till tomorrow. What if you're like building these cards? What if I like... what if these are like almost like blank spaces and I have like an icon for the action part, sort of like Baba Is You style, like add a coin and add a make, and then suddenly this card is making coins. That's like mostly blank. Not really, they're all pretty noisy. I wonder if maybe I could use like the faith mechanic I have from Butterflies, where you almost like a trade system where you basically put out an offer and then hope that somebody gives you what you want. So, I did have this thing about, like, it keeps coming back to that whole, you don't take the action directly, you put it into, like, a deck and hope that it gets drawn, kind of thing. And, I don't know, is that what I want to do? I just feel like, how do you make any sort of meaningful action when that's like your mechanic? That you put a bunch of cards into a deck and then hope that you draw the right one. The cards would have to be like a lot of duplicates and dummy simple. So if they were dummy simple, like say a deck of cards, then you could like be like, okay, I put like 5 clubs into there. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get clubs. But if I were to like boil things down, well, okay, so I boiled things down to like 3 different actions and 3 different suits. So if I just had the cards that were like...
Now's a chance to be a big shot. Be a big shot.
There was just those actions.
Now's a chance to be a big shot. Be a big shot.
So let's see, how many cards would that be? 3... I think it's like... It's like 9, right? Is that right? Because there's a heart for each of those. Yeah, there's... So it'd be 9. So 9 different cards. Is that still too much? I could feasibly simplify this further into just like 2 actions. Add a suit and remove a suit. But right now it seems like you don't really want to remove suits unless you want to like stop somebody. Let's simplify it down to just adding a suit and moving the suit. Then you still have the option to sabotage somebody, but you have to like direct it somewhere. And maybe that could be doubled as like you taking it onto your board or something to remove it that way. Then it's only 6. That seems like it's more reasonable. That seems like a reasonable set of things you could like feed into a deck and then hope that like the thing that you want shows up. There would have to be a lot of cards. It'd have to be like those mini cards again. Like these. Like these are like Game Crafter micro cards. They're pretty cool, huh? So could I have like a whole bunch of those micro cards as like, I don't know. And they just be things like add a this or move a this. And then instead this grid would just be like almost like blank squares where you would like that removes the whole connection thing. Well, I guess the whole idea is that you'd be feeding those micro cards into these decks. These cards I think are like one... How big are they again? They're like an inch and a 1/4 by 1 3/4. Yeah, 1 3/4 by 1 1/4. Yeah. So you could like effectively make have little micro decks and and you're feeding
Hyperlink block. Now's a chance to hyperlink block. Now's a chance to hyperlink block. Hyperlink block.
so get my index cards again. Okay, so then what if I went back to the idea that these suits sort of informed how those communities operated? Where like the more art there, the more cards you drew for your actions. And then the more tech, the more those actions you could actually take? I'm not sure. Something like that. If I think about the way that these three suits operate, you've got the tech, which provides the platform and controls traffic in some sense. It basically facilitates the connection at all. You've got the engagement, which is the actual people that are responding, which is like the lifeblood of the platform. Without it, it's a dead platform, nobody would use it. It's a weird cyclical thing. And then there is the capital, which is just like the political factors that allow the platform to exist. And there's also like a political thing that everybody needs. I think I came back to a lot was... Right. There's something kind of... Yeah, I kind of like that because it kind of leans into this idea of stochastic action that I've been wanting to explore. So you could just sort of have like a plausible deniability thing of like putting a bunch of things in there and be like, oh, I can't believe people did that. Like, sure, I fed 5 cancel, like, art cards in there, but I didn't expect them to actually do it. I told them not to. I feel like that enables more meaner play as well, but right now there's, like... So, I think I really need to drill down into what it is that you actually do to win, but that in order to do that, I feel like I need a framework. Okay, so... Maybe I've got like an idea of what the idealist wants, which is to upset the system somehow, or push for some change which requires either control of the system or control of resources. I think the harder part for me to nail down is what other people might want, and because those motivations could be all over the place, it could range from anything to amassing a lot of resources similarly, or fame, controlling a lot of attention. And it just seems lazy to just be like, they all just want the most resources. Maybe if I think about it in a relational sense, in the way that a lot of my other games are, make it less about having a lot of something and make it more about having the right balance of something. This is like a system that I feel makes things more interesting. So like, maybe the activist wants there to be more expression than there is money influencing the system. And then, yeah, maybe each player could have like a different balance that they're looking for in the system. Like, the people controlling the platform want to see more profits and don't care about the other stuff. They want there to be more profit generation than anything else. Then there could be the people that just want to see the advancement of the platform's technology, regardless of social implications and the political motivations. Maybe something like that. So what I don't like about that is that then players would just have like an interest of like having like these certain things generated all the time. But then what if it's like a area control thing, or like there's like a flat amount of these resources and you're kind of sort of like gerrymander it in such a way that like there are more dominant like art communities than there are money communities, something like that. I like the sounds of the system, but it doesn't feel like it's congruent with like what I'm working towards. Let me look at my stuff again. Because then you'll have situations where the mechanics are explicitly putting you at odds against the other player. So maybe that's just one of your possible goals. Maybe there are multiple goals. Or maybe you could change your goals? Oh, that's like a thing. Where like the cards in your hand determine like what you want to see on the platform. The cards in your hand being like yeah, like, so what if, like... So the cards are gonna effectively have suits because it has an action and then a suit, and so the art cards are gonna be all about increasing or moving art. Or let's say, oh, I guess they'd all be about if it's a closed economy. Well, I guess it could be about like banking it versus removing it from the bank? I don't know. Let's just say... Let's just go with what I have, which is placing or moving. And so you've got like 3 different suited cards with 2 possible actions on them. So the cards in your hand could be like things that you want. But then how do you draw more cards? Alright. I feel like I'm gonna throw out the yellow cards for now, the hard mechanic stuff. I guess the thing is that I'm kind of constantly leaning towards this idea that the game is just like self-playing with you interjecting. It's just like a continuous stream of like nonsense, and that you're trying to like sort of control the river in your favor. But that sounds like Oh, that sounds like a... Let's see, just a second. Let me look at these cards for a second. Yeah, almost like a programming game where you can program like some sort of a system that's accomplishing goals that are congruent with your goals. So maybe you're sitting cozy because you've got like a bunch of like coins and no like art cards in your hand, and you know that the decks out there are generating a bunch of coins, and then somebody comes in and says like, I think we need to get the coins out of here. And you're trying to decide if like, okay, do I want to shift my goals, even though I've got this cozy system going, or do I want to somehow change the cards in my hand, take a chance, and see if they will align with their new goals, or if I want to just try to stop them from making changes. And either way, I'm going to have to spend cards from my hand to try to stop them. It would depend on how set I am, which is going to depend on the cards in my hand. Kinda like that. But then it... It could be like there's two different types of cards. There's like the noise cards, and then there's like the influencer cards. Hold on, any more pop drops? Got a little bit of headache too. Make sure that I'm not missing anything important here. Alright, let me see. This does feel kind of congruous with this. It's not doing anything for connections and dependencies. I like how it works with that, and I do feel like it capitalizes on this. So is there a way that I can somehow work this deck, very simple micro deck system, into this system of connections and dependencies? Okay, so what if I have like a bunch of these identifier cards to sort of identify like the micro decks and where they are in relation to each other on like a hex grid or something. Like there's a hex version of these that shows how they're connected, and then there's a card where there's a micro deck on it that has like this sort of like system of just random actions, and you reveal a bunch of actions and you must take them for each community. That seems like a lot. I was thinking about the idea of this being like sort of like one player operating the machine while the others like interject. So is that a thing that I want? And then these cards would just be accumulating this stuff and moving it around based on like this, and they would get moved around based on like so the thing is that if this player is controlling how these things move, maybe I do need somebody controlling the platform and the system who draws this stuff and decides where it goes, and then the other players interject. Maybe I've got it backwards. Maybe one player is like the Chancellor that's like operating the algorithm, revealing all the comments, deciding how resources move about, and players have to play cards to be like, hold on, I redirect that somehow with my influencer card. Maybe. I need to use a restroom break. I'll be right back. So, one player is the algorithm, and at least one other player is the activist, and then the others are... or maybe all of them are activists, doing that same mechanic of like... these are the things that they want. So like... hold on. So like, okay, so... something kinda like this. Except I'm thinking like hex grids again. Or... no, I could still use cards for this. No, actually, I think I might want to go back to hex grids. But the big hex cards. And the algorithm is basically has like a very one-sided goal of most coins here. Maybe if they get enough coins, then the game ends and they win. No, not really. They just want to get the most points here. It's almost like they just don't care about the other players. I had played with the idea of it being like when this player runs out of steam, so... maybe the coins just fuel their actions. Like the coins are wild cards, the tech is just... yeah, like for this player, they're able to spend resources that they manage to funnel to this card more freely. Being in the platform. Yeah. Sort of like a, like a vast style, like, mansion. Like, one player is playing the internet, and is, like, playing out how, like, the different, community responses play out, funneling traffic, and then the other players interject and be like, hold on, I redirect traffic, in this community. I stop traffic in this community somehow, or something. let me think about that. So then these connections become more relevant because then it's like how that player has to think about how does like stuff connect back to them. Well, it's less that they need it to go to a certain community. They just want it to exist on the platform. They're just interested in generating as much as possible. So they don't actually care where the resources go because they could spend it from anywhere. But then here's the problem. Right now, this player is playing like a GM role. They don't really actually have any investment in what the other players are doing. In fact, they want them to just play as much as possible to generate as much like activity on the platform. Yeah, there's no tension there with this system. And I think that's why I kept wanting that to be like an automated thing. Okay, so then maybe we could go back to that being something the Spotlight player controls. They direct... They play out the machine. They direct where the traffic goes. The platform itself doesn't actually care as long as that traffic gets generated. And so because the player's in the spotlight, that's how they're able to like kind of have a little bit more leeway into like, okay, so this one requires it gets moved, I'm gonna have it move over this way. And the other players could be like, actually... I feel like this is going back to a previous version, except with simpler microcards, it might be better. I just don't know. I think I've tested this where like I had like a thing here that was referencing another thing up here, and it was just like a mess. Like, it'd be sort of like this, and yeah, I could like simulate this really easily right now. Or something kind of like this. Maybe I should make like a micro card just to kind of get a sense of scale. Or maybe if these were tiles, this would be less of a problem. Like tiles that you could like shift around. Yeah, so this is backwards. It's like the spotlighted player wants to funnel stuff over to their cause. So they're going to be... So these are like decks of stuff. They're going to draw a thing and be like, okay, oh! Just thinking about the possibility of these being tokens that have the currency on one side and the action on the other side, but then we're talking about like a bag for each one, and there could be like as many as like 9 or 10 of them. So it's a game that needs like 9 opaque bags. Ugh. I don't like it. Everything else about it I like. It's sort of quacks of Quedlinburg in a way. But God, having like a bag for each thing. Ugh. What? Alright, let's look at the game crafter. Maybe this isn't as gross as I think it is. No bag? Really? Is it a container? Oh, it's probably not a custom part. That's probably what I'm... Yeah, bags. Okay. So... yeah, they're like $1 each. And these are for like the real small bags, I think. It says several dice and pawns. So that would do the trick. But like, God, like $1 each bag? That means for like 5 bags, it's like... yeah, we're like talking like $4 for 5 bags, which is like the cost of like a couple decks of cards, which just, I think is a little much, I could go back to the card idea. And then the cards are just directly placed on there. Ugh. Gross. Gross. Ugh. Alright. I got an idea. What if... instead of that... like, people have made like dice towers on this, right? How much are screens? Really? For one? We're talking... oh. Oh, it's because there's 4 sheets. So... it's slightly better. It's like half as much as a bag. It's still not ideal. And also, still, that doesn't really solve the random problem. What if it just came with a little box? But yeah, that's what I was thinking, like a cardboard cutout that essentially made like a bunch of little trays, and you would put stuff in there, and then you'd like randomly pull one out of it. But I don't think that's gonna cut it, really. Or what if the box just had dividers? Do they do like a insert? Well, they do these kind of inserts. Alright, but if I were to like do a custom punch out, it would probably have to be a large custom. Large cardstock punch out. It would be something, yeah, like this, where I'm basically making my own little tower. Nope! Although that's not as, like... in theory, it's more scalable, but I don't... Nah, I don't think so. As much as I would like to do that, I just don't think that's feasible. God, I really like the physicality of that if you just drawing it and then placing it, though. I wonder if there's a way I can make it just all one bag. God, but then the bags could be the communities. Maybe this is the expensive game that I'm designing here. Or maybe you put the tokens under the card? And then you grab them without looking? Like you put tokens on there, and then you cover it, and then without looking you grab 3 or something, and discard the rest. Doesn't need to be hidden information for all the players. Maybe it just needs to be hidden information for one player. This would be so much easier with bags. Maybe I just have to accept it. Okay. Maybe somebody smarter will think of a better idea if this were to ever get to like a published state. But let's just say for the sake of moving forward that I've got bags and that I can make the bags work. And we're talking tiny bags that could fit on these cards. Or no. Like these would be the bags up here. And then, so you draw a token. It's one of these tiny tokens, and it tells you if you're placing it or if you're moving a thing. And that means that as you place more of these, you're left with, you're going to be encountering the having to move stuff more and more often. So then you place those, and then this one, you know, that's not so bad. That doesn't feel so bad. Although it does feel kind of weird, like it's like... It's almost like you might as well just place them directly on the card, and then, well, but then some of these might tell you, like, you might draw this one, it might be like, says move one, so, like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to try this. Let me look at my fundamentals. So the connections and dependencies would be like, yeah, I don't want this to be connected to that. Because I don't want stuff to get... I don't want to be forced to... Well... Since they're the one controlling the traffic, maybe it would be like if this person had a card that said, connected things must move here. Then they'd be like, well, I have to move it over there then. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. Okay, connections. I don't know about this one. This one still needs to be on the table, make nice changes. This definitely, the engagement economy, you're just trying to get as much activity out there, and you're trying to make it the right kind of activity, in a sense. So then, like, how are the other players winning in this system? God, I've overhauled this so many times. Do I still want the hexes, or do I just want it to be like this? I think maybe I just want it to be like this. Although I feel like these are gonna have to be tiles. Alright. Oops. Let me take a look at this. So if I went with, what's a small square tile? How big are these? 2" by 2". That's not bad at all. How many are these in a 24? That sounds fairly reasonable. Although it's like dollars. Ooh. Why are things so expensive? I don't remember them being that expensive. Maybe I was looking at the small... I think these were always, did they increase the price? No. Maybe I was just looking at the wrong numbers. Didn't account for like the cost for laser cutting. Yeah, this is looking like an expensive game. Oh, maybe I was looking at these mini square tiles. Yeah, I think I was looking at the minis. Yeah, okay. Could I make this work with how big are these? 1.25", that's pretty small. That's like my micro card size. Like the short length. Can't really fit a lot of tokens on those unless a lot of tokens don't go on these. But yeah, that's a little too small. I think I'd have to go with the 2" tile. Which will make this more expensive. How big are these hexes? There are 8 slugs. These small hexes are very small. Well, they aren't that small. How come there's so many more? I'm a little confused. I feel like there should be more. Are these on the same chipboard? Huh. How weird. So for a sheet... there are 8 items per slug. 6 items per slug. Weird. So you get more hexes on the same... you get more hexes per sheet, apparently. Very odd. They are slightly smaller, so I don't know if it's worth. But good to know. Alright, once again I am thinking about how it is that the other players are interacting with the system. So if they want like a certain balance, maybe they want a certain balance on the areas that they control. Where they have the influence. But then it feels like it'd be easy to just be like, okay, I'm just going to somehow ensure that I'm disconnected, that I'm generating mostly the thing that I'm looking for to win, and then they're forced to just place a bunch on there, it can't move anywhere. And then this player is content to just make these cards work and they're not engaged. They're not engaged, that's the name of the game. So maybe they can't completely disconnect, maybe they always have to be connected in some way. So then maybe they would end up wanting to move their community farther, like to the farthest point. Or maybe they might see that, like, maybe the rebels have like a certain thing that they're looking for too. They don't want just all the resources, they want a certain amount of a certain resource, and maybe we could work with asymmetricals for these. Like, one for being like most traffic, and then they might want to put themselves close so that all the traffic has to pass through them. But then how would you like record that? Maybe they are actively using influencers to grab it into their supply or keep it there. If there's only like one of these for each player, well then for like a two-player game, this is what it would look like. And you're just generating resources on these two and moving them back and forth between the two. This does not sound that interesting. Maybe there should be like one neutral one. And then it's a matter of like how we shift those ones around, and if we want to disconnect it, and then like how do you even disconnect yourself from something in like such a small space? Can you disconnect yourself? I was thinking for the sake of mechanics it wouldn't make sense, but maybe if there's like a void. Yeah, I guess there'd have to be at least one neutral one. I don't know, is this a thing that I want to try? Then what would the influencers do? This whole having a balance of things seems kind of weak, because you could like effectively have that after like one turn, especially if you're kind of controlling the general like shape of the decks. And also, it feels kind of... doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense that, like... because then, like, you could choose to just do all of these first, and then do all of these next, and... that feels kind of weird. It doesn't feel like... it seems like you'd have to draw one for each deck, and then draw from one from each deck again, and then even then the order matters because you could like effectively always make sure that you draw from this deck first and then this one. Yeah, I don't know. The more I think about this system, the less I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm not sure. God, I'm really struggling with this. Alright, let's get back to these fundamentals. Yeah, these two. These are fine. These are good for this system, but win conditions. Why are they so hard? It's so hard to make win conditions. God, I really hate win conditions. It also feels like there's way too many of these tiles effectively moving around on the board in that way. With them being so simple though, I do feel like I could have effectively 9-1 that forces you to remove one. And with that layer disconnect, you could feasibly be aggressive and put a bunch of the remove ones in there and be like, oh, how did that happen? And also, there's like this sort of disconnect between like, I kind of like the idea of like being able to be like, well, I guess that would be the other thing, like you'd have these and then you'd have influencers play to them, and these would enable special actions. Oh, and then maybe the players have clout on these to determine like they have to like take one to use it and they place one if they give it resources. And then you could get cancelled if like someone, if you got influenced with this influencer and somebody like cancels them somehow, then that could impact you and your community. I kind of like that, but then like win conditions. How do you win? God. I kinda like the bones on this, but I don't like the meat. I'm gonna take a wee break. Just catch up on my socials. Said I would take a break, right? Maybe I should take a break like I said I would. head empty. That, wow, 5 minutes really goes fast, okay. I mean, goes slow. I don't know if I like this implication of the way resources are moving around and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. These could effectively be cards if they're not moving around too much, but I don't know. Alright, let's, maybe I'm looking too much at the blue side. And I need to look more at the pink ones. I thought I had more pink cards in this. Where are my other cards? Oh, there it is. These are the player interactions. So if the influencers have suits, how do you win? Okay, so right now it's like you can have something like this. Do you even have a hand? How do you get new influencers? Maybe buy them with their cost, their problem issue thing. So if you get like that much tech in your community, you could essentially spend it to get another influencer. Okay, so let me just sort of... Maybe I should write down on that card. Start a new set of cards of like... patterns I'm noticing and things I could sort of like play around with. So... There's gonna be... Right now there's... the community tableau. Tableau of influencers. There's the bag of engagement. There's the card traffic. And then there's the adjacent cards. But then how do things get into your bag? Well, let's try to work backwards for once. What is it that... So if I've got all these different components going on here, I guess that's what I'm asking. Do you have like... So, you don't have a hand of engagements of those tokens that are being drawn so much as you have like a bag and you add stuff to your bag. And your bag is tied to your community, which is the one that you have like direct control over. Or do you? Maybe if you have enough of these in our player's thing, then you're able to add tokens to their bag too? What are the things that you have direct control over? As the moderator for this community, you could kick people out of it, you could ban them. I need to play more PAX games. That's what I need to be doing. So let's think about this at the high level again. Players want to make change. Or one player wants to make change. One player might be content in the status quo. But what does that look like? So, I've been thinking about this, like, you want to bring enough focus onto your cause that it forces some sort of a real-world change. Which sounds kind of like you bring enough, like... So, like, okay, so let me try to think about this in terms of, like, what these different mechanisms are representing. So, you're adding stuff to your bag, which is like you tweeting about this thing and bringing more people into your circle, and this is the stochastic element. You're basically fostering an environment that is very focused on tech, or maybe very focused on art, or focused on making money. And then, so these are your tweets, so to speak. And then during the phase where you're drawing from these, this is like your tweets actually manifesting into like some like actual change of some sort. Like somebody actually develops the thing that you think people should be developing, somebody makes art along lines of what you think is cool. Your money idea actually worked out or whatever, or it didn't work out, or because I keep forgetting that these could also just get removed with the new system that I'm thinking of. So then this is also in the same way that you could tweet this at other people into their communities. And then, so you would control how these things play out in your own circles. And then maybe the Spotlight player would control the neutral one, if I still have a neutral one. Maybe in a 2-player game they just both get one? I don't know. This feels like it makes more sense in a 3-player game, maybe. Anyways, so that's what that represents. So this is like the actual... These are the hits. Or the consequences of your tweets, so to speak. So then... maybe... You're not trying to make change in your own sphere. That's like an echo chamber. It's like really easy to just rack up like a bunch of engagement and have like an echo chamber of like positive things happening here. What you really want is to somehow fish these over to some community that you are disconnected with. So maybe their goal is to somehow get it so that enough of their tokens get pushed into the cause community, their goal community, so to speak, where they have no direct influence. So then their methods of success might be to either get their community connected, and then it'd be easier for them to directly flood it in, or to form some sort of a chain where it's going backwards towards them. And maybe this bay could start with a bunch of like canceling things. So when you're drawing from this big, it's like constantly wiping them out. So you need to, but then that means that you could, in a similar fashion, well, you don't have direct influence over that big, so I guess that's just like a how difficult do I want to make this be. But so do I want to let it be, maybe it should be difficult for you to move around like that. Or maybe it's just not possible. Maybe you have to like, you have to expend influence from this circle in order to move around it. And then I have to have influence in this circle somehow? How would you get influence there? It would have to be second hand. So you get enough influence that you move next to it. And then, so you'd have to, so in the same way you'd have to somehow get influence fed into there. So can you, in the same way, have like tokens like this that that go into your bag that have like the plus and minus on the opposite side? I feel like if they're tokens and they're that small, I feel like the whole draw bag mechanic makes a little bit more sense. And it could almost be Quacks of Quedlinburg style, where everybody's drawing and playing out their mechanics at the same time. But then that would make it harder for you to interject with your influencers. Or maybe not if your influencers are in the form of like things that take a physical presence on the board, like a token that says like traffic has to go this way, like an arrow thing. Yeah. So like the board state could be something like this, and then you might be able to form new communities somehow. That might be like another card, and their goal is to just get enough stuff flowing over to here somehow, whether it's moving themselves or moving or just getting it secondhand over there. These other players, that's where things are a little trickier. So they might be motivated. So do I want them to just have... I would like for it to be an open-ended thing. I need to use the restroom again. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, my thinking was that these players would be engaged in some sort of a more like a PAX type of thing. Maybe they... I think I might need to take a break from staring at this. I'm feeling like very disengaged right now. Oh my god, why did I pick this name for this game? But I kind of like the direction it's going. It feels cleaner, you draw a thing, you look at the action that's associated with it, and then you either place it or you remove it, and it's a force thing. There's some expenditure of influence to like you have to. I'd have to spend some influence if I wanted to put tokens in there. Maybe I could place a token, and what do I do with placing tokens? Maybe if I think about these mechanics, maybe the other pieces will come out of it. So what happens so in order to... So if I place these in there, then that means I replace it, but then they might not like the things that I tweeted at them. I'm wondering if maybe... I really don't want this to be a barter thing. What if it's like... There's just like a supply of these. And... before they're put into the bag, you hand them to that player so they can see what you're putting into their bag. They look at it, and then... they decide whether they want to take one of these from you or not, and put it on one of their things. I mean, there's no mechanical reason to do that. It would just be a social one, like, hey, I like the thing that you gave me, I want you to do that again. So I'm hoping that this will incentivize you to do that. I kinda like that. What if you controlled how much influence other people had within your circle? And then as soon as they like backstab you, you could be like, get out of here, get out of here. Get out of here. I really like that, but how do I like lean into that? And how do I make it so that it's not just strictly like a win-making kind of thing, where it's like, I need to have influence, and if you let me do this, you just let me win. Yeah, I think I need a break. My brain is just a little too fried. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for coming along. I'll catch you later. Thank you. Ciao.